Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Ask the Experts. My name is Hassani Pettiford. I'm the co-founder of Couples Academy. I am a marriage coach and an infidelity recovery specialist. And every single evening, we come to you Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So wherever may be in the world, we're glad that you're tuning in. Before we get started, we just want you to share this particular show today because we're going to be talking about some interesting things, and the interest is based upon what you want to bring to the table. Here's your opportunity to ask your question, whatever it may be, whether you're single, dating, in a committed courtship, engaged, or married. Maybe you're separated or divorced and you're looking for guidance to get you through your situation. That's what this particular call is for. So make sure you post your questions and we'll jump right in. In the meantime, Foundry is still open. We just started this week. It is phenomenal. We have a gang full of, well, gang, I mean that in a positive sense. We have a nice size amount of men, but we have room for a little bit more. So it is not too late to get in there and get started. We're just getting underway, and it is truly an amazing experience. Unearthed, that 12-week program starting March 16th through June 1st. So ladies, this is your opportunity. Many of you are struggling in a relationship when you don't have a willing participant and you're in pain and you're trying to figure out how do I do this? How do I do that? Unearthed is designed specifically for you. And last but not least, the Last Chance Weekend is coming up March the 11th through the 13th. Now, all of the links are in the description of the video. So we encourage you to click on it, find out more, and get registered today. Make a difference in your life. Make a difference in your marriage. All right. Good evening, Dee Dee Jones, Jules family, JJ Rick, VT Flow. Here we have, I believe, a question. We have a personal, we have a personal foremost. I want to thank you and your wife so much for all the people that work with you for doing this for everybody. Y'all have helped me. Y'all have helped my wife and I tremendously through the situation that I have caused. Well, Thomas, so glad that you are a part. So glad that you're tuning in. You know, it's interesting. I had a conversation with someone today who literally says every single day we tune in morning and in the evening to hear what you guys have to say. It has been transformational. Then someone else told me that they literally listen 8 hours a day while at work. They got the earbuds in and they're just playing and playing and playing and just letting it all sink in. And that's the awesome thing about this thing, guys. See, sometimes when you listen to it while you're multitasking, it's going into your subconscious mind. So you find yourself saying things and doing things which are nothing more than an outward manifestation of what you've placed on the inside of you. And that's exactly why we do this. Okay, so guys, this is your time. This is not the hangout spot. This is not the show to sit back with your pad and your pen and to take notes. This is the opportunity that you have to ask questions. So I'm going to give a 1-minute countdown. Matter of fact, I'm going to go to a quick commercial break. If there's no questions on the other side of this break, we'll just end it for this evening. Be right back in just a sec. All right, we're back. This is Ask the Experts. JJ Rick says, you know, my husband and I listen to CA, Couples Academy, while we're at work. And then again, when we come home together. Now, that is taking it to the next level, because the more that becomes a part of your daily diet, it will make a change and a transformation in your life. Just think about the fact that you eat 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you do that 7 days a week, right? That's 21 meals. So the fact that you're listening morning and night, that's a double dose twice a day. That's 14 times. At some point, something's got to stick and you'll begin to see change in your life. Here's a question. How do you recommend we speak to our kids? They heard us talking the other day and now questioning what's going on. They are 15 and 12. or working, but not sure what to say. Okay, so I don't know exactly what your situation is, but let's just say it doesn't matter, right? There's some type of marital conflict or discord in your relationship. And guess what? As thick as you think your walls are, they're really made of paper mache, because children have a tendency to turn into plastic man and plastic woman and can slide through the cracks and crevices of your door and wind up in your room. And you're like, how did you even get here? Or they're listening. You know, back in the day, they would have a glass and they put it on the door and they can listen. So they know what's going on. And so children oftentimes have a front row seat to your crazy. So what you need to do is tell your children, listen, you heard mom and dad, or you overheard mom and dad arguing, and from time to time, couples go through situations like that. But listen, we love each other. We're committed to each other for life. You two have nothing to worry about. This is a safe, home, and we're just working through some things to get to a better place. There are ups and downs and challenges to a relationship. I would keep it vague. I would keep it very general. If they somehow got an earshot into the details, once again take a general approach. Listen, we're working through things. We're creating a better environment for each other and for you. Mommy and daddy love each other. That's how we do it. The key is you want to protect your children from your marriage. See, some people participate in. There's a book I read a long time ago. It was deep, and it was something like when you turn your child into your partner, meaning there's like this emotional incest that you have with your children, where because you're disconnected from your spouse, you then take on your child to fulfill what your spouse isn't. Now they become your emotional partner, and you're pouring into them and you're seeking things from them that you could only get from your partner. And it's just dangerous. It's just dangerous. And so you want to build a wall of protection around your marriage, and keep your children from experiencing what you're going through. Now, if they hear you arguing, fussing, fighting, screaming, whatever the case may be, make sure you take the time to resolve the problem in front of them. What I mean by that is they may not be privy to the actual solution behind closed doors, because you have to have these conversations behind closed doors. But when you resolve it, listen, hey, 2 days ago when you heard mommy and daddy fighting, we just want to come together in front of you and apologize for what you heard. But we just want to let you know we figured it out. We worked it out. We're in a better place. Don't you know that there are adults who will tell me that they never saw their mother or father say, I'm sorry? They never saw their mother and father forgive one another. So they struggle in their adult relationships because of what they saw in their home. So some people, all they do is see their parents fight and they never see them make up. Some people, they never see their parents have an argument. So when they have frustrations in their marriage, they think the sky is falling. So you want to give them a well balanced perspective without giving them the details, but letting them know we've had a problem. We've created the solution, and now listen, we welcome you into the fold. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. Now the questions are flowing. Golly, I got to scroll up just to get to the next one. Okay, Keith says, no question, but just want you to know that my wife and I are making tremendous headway towards recovery. Thank you so much, Asani. Well, thank God. We just thank God for that, because there's purpose and power and potential in your marriage, and we want to see that you fulfill it to the fullest. Cali Power Couple, yes, you and Danielle are true. Oh man, what is something about the habit? I'm getting all my flowers early. Yes, you and Danielle are truly a blessing to us daily, morning, noon, and night. Your guidance has provided the training wheels we so desperately need and continue to need. I know who you are, and I love you guys. I appreciate you. All right, let's go to the next one. We had an infidelity in our relationship a few years ago. Okay, that's all you're saying. Well, you're in the right place at the right time. Oh, here we go. Been working on it every day, but since then, the other person has tried to reach out through social media. I have ignored them, but should I be honest with my fiance that this happened? I'm troubled with telling him, as I want to be honest, but don't want to upset him that this person tries to add me to their social media platform. Phenomenal question. Thank you for asking. Yes, go straight to your partner, your spouse, and say, babe, in all transparency, I just want you to know what happened. check this out. Show them, listen, she just contacted me. He just contacted me. My knee jerk reaction was to delete it and just not bring it up because I didn't want drama. But I'm learning, you know what? I need to be transparent because, who knows what will happen in the future, right? So I just want to let you know. So, how do we want to deal with this? You see that? Rather than you independently determining what you need to do with it on your own, you're bringing, and what that will do, it's like a quantum leap in your partner's ability to trust because they're like, man, she didn't have to say that. He didn't have to do that. And the fact that you did, man, that makes me feel okay. Yeah. That makes me feel good about where we're going. Thank you so much for telling me and risking the potential of something going wrong. And guess what? It didn't. It went right. Now, let's just say it does go wrong. Let's just say there's swell up in the chest, and they don't like the fact that a person's reaching out to you. Well, listen, babe, I understand you're frustrated. I just wanted to let you know that's just letting you know my commitment to this and my commitment to us. How should we handle this? Well, number one, they should be blocked on all forms of social media. There's something called the no contact contract, and you want to cut it off completely so that there's no way that they could ever get in contact with you again. So cut off the email, cut off the social media, block them from the phone, from texting, everything, and do it with and in front of your partner so that they know it's done. Now, what I would say before blocking them off, rather than ignoring the message, you want to address it with and in front of your partner. A lot of times people end flings and affairs, but they don't do it with the proper messaging. And the proper message has to go out once and for all, which will shut down any way or ability for them to contact you again. So hopefully that answers that question. All right, here we go. How you do I deal? How do you deal with my husband who is present in the home but is emotionally unavailable? Okay, so he's physically there, but he emotionally is not there. How do you deal with it? I don't know what role you're playing. Are you questioning him? Are you trying to engage him in a conversation? Are you trying to see what's going on? Is it something in the home? Is it something outside the home? Is something on his mind? Has it been like this for a minute? If I were to ask him, would he co-sign what you're saying? Because we all have our own perspective in the way that we view things. Get to the root of it. Get to the why, right? Certain behavior just can't be denied. All right. So if he acknowledges that it's true, well, why is it true? Let's get to the root of it and have a conversation about it. If he's closed and not willing to do it, then see if he's willing at least to talk to a third party to get to the root of it, because this is a season and this is a dynamic that you do not want to remain in. There's nothing healthy and there's nothing that feels good about having a spouse that gives you the gas face, that gives you the hand, that is emotionally distant and disconnected, that just shows up, but they're like a hollow, just corpse, and there's no life to them. There's nothing admirable about that. So see if he's willing to engage. Sometimes reading a book together, watching a video together, going to a seminar together, just attempt to do different things. There's many ways to skin a cat. And if you've tried one and it doesn't work, don't throw in the towel, give up, cave in and quit. Try something else till you get the results that you're looking for. Listen, guys, you're watching Ask the Experts. We will be right back after this quick commercial break. All right, guys, we're back. Welcome to Ask the Experts. The questions are just flowing in, so we're going to go right to it. All right, here we go. How can you ask your husband questions when you truly see he's struggling? Don't want to be overwhelming. Okay, so this is why we talk about the importance of having a work day and a play day, because the work day is the day that you have set aside and dedicated to some of the more difficult conversations. It's like, okay, Thursday night, 8 o'clock, that's our day. Let's try to keep things light throughout the course of the week. But that's the day that we're dedicating to bringing our heart and our mind and our focus and our energy to the conversation. One of the things you can do in your work day is you can say, listen, the topic is going to be this. There's a few things I want to talk about. In fact, these are the questions. Slide them over. Let him review the questions. Give him time to think it through, wrestle with it, so that he's fully involved in the conversation when it's time to have it. I mean, there's many techniques, but the point is sometimes people become, I mean, just think about being an interrogator, right? And you're asking 1,001 questions at bullet speed. You're interrupting before they finish, and they just feel like, in that type of space, they don't feel comfortable engaging. So, my question is, how are you showing up to the conversation? Okay, that's a part of it. And then, creating a comfortable, safe environment that will make it conducive for him to answer those questions. Next question. How do you deal with the marriage being in real trouble, but one spouse still wants to be intimate while the other does not? Yep, this is very, very common. You go to counseling. you know, as they say, the person with the slower the libido is the one who controls the sexual interaction in a relationship. The one who is not interested and doesn't want to have it is the one who controls the sexual interaction in the relationship. As we always say, 9 times out of 10, when couples stop engaging in that way, it's because there's something emotionally or relationally wrong. When those issues are addressed and resolved, then guess what? Couples get sexually involved. It's a direct correlation, a direct correlation. And so if you've been going on and on and on in a space where we're not in a good place, you demand it, I don't want it. Well, for women in particular, not to say that they have a monopoly on this, because now that we're learning about personality types, not everything is gender specific. So while that plays a part, it's also a personality thing. There's certain personalities that can't engage in that way if things aren't right, if they're struggling with things. And so if my motivation is to dive in deep, no pun intended, and I want to connect with my wife, and I know that the way in is through her heart. Like, if I want to penetrate her, I've got to first penetrate her heart. Well, let's deal with the issues, babe. Let's figure it out. Let's resolve it. Because I want you to be in a good place. Because if we engage, I don't want you showing up half hearted, just like a log, a bump on a log, not engaged, no energy, no passion, no excitement. Now I feel like you're just a receptacle that I'm just using. I want a mutually beneficial experience when we come together. And so this is why you have to put the issues on the forefront. Now, not every issue, not all of your issues are going to be solved and resolved. They're just not. Things will happen over a course of time. But if you're moving in the right direction, if you're knocking these issues out and things are getting better, you don't have to wait till everything's perfect before you open up your heart again. Like, you got to meet in the middle, right? Because some couples, truth be told, have gone months without sex. So when we bring up something like take a 30-day sex fast, they're like, 30 days? Okay. It's been 30 months. You know what I'm saying? And that's a real thing. So 30 days is nothing to them. For those type of couples who they don't have anything, they need to practice becoming connected again and starting off with touches and then transitioning into things till sex does happen. But the point is, in the forefront, let's deal with the relational issues, while in the backdrop, let's begin to physically rekindle again to get in a better place. And if you reach the spot where you don't seem to be getting anywhere, this is why we recommend going to counseling. All right, hope that makes sense. Latest affair lasted 2 years and it ended a year ago. Is it time for me to end this marriage? Latest affair lasted 2 years ago. And no, I mean, what have you gone to counseling? Have you gone to a seminar? Have you done a last chance weekend? Have you taken a master class? Have you gone to a retreat? Have you read a book? Have you sought out wise counsel? Have you exhausted everything? Have you done anything? Be surprised. There's many, and I don't know about your situation, but there's many couples who have been married for years and have never gone to counseling, have never tried anything outside of what continues to no longer work. And so you lose hope. You have just like this attitude where nothing's ever going to change because you keep doing the same thing. And doing more of the same will just get you more of the same. All right, let's go to the next question. Roxanne, 23 years married, husband had multiple affairs, first 10 years. Faithful about 9 years. Affair partner ended it. He says marriage feels like bondage, wants to do what he wants, and right now only wants to do me. Huh? Let me read that again. He says marriage feels like bondage and wants to do what he wants, and right now only wants to do me. Okay, so I'm confused. Yeah, okay. Latest 2 years ago. Okay, I think I just answered your question. That was you, Roxanne. Okay, because it's the way it's coming in is kind of confusing. So hopefully I said something to speak to your situation. Okay, let's go to another one. DFLO says transparency builds trust. That is a fact. World Changers, Heather, you and your wife are doing God's work every day. You are loved and appreciated. Well, we certainly appreciate you. We really, 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 really do. All right, here's another one. I don't know. Okay, let me go back up because they're coming in so fast and I got to go. Okay. So my partner cheated on me 2 months ago and we got back together. She left a few weeks back because of my hypervigilance and left again. She spent the night with the same guy 3 days later and now wants to get back, but on her terms. She shows no empathy last time, and I don't know what to do. Heck no. See, listen, guys. Oftentimes, now this is not blaming the victim. Hear the context. Hear the context. Oftentimes, we teach people how to treat us. If I know that I can cheat on you, once you start asking questions and getting hypervigilant, I'm like, I'm out. I'm not dealing with this. And I go back to the very one for a couple days and then want to come back, show no empathy, no care. What should you do? There's a phenomenal book that I want you to get by Dobson. It's called Tough Love. Tough Love. It's a phenomenal book. It talks about when you are in a relationship with a partner who continues to do wrong. No empathy, no compassion. They're just in this funk where they just want to do whatever they want to do. But you continue to show up and you continue to love and you continue to pour out. And you think if I love them longer, if I cook, if I clean, if I do this, if I do that, somehow I'll motivate them not to do it. Nope. Tough love suggests you got to build boundaries, right? And there's another book called Boundaries in Marriage and Safe People. And it talks about when your spouse is doing wrong and is unrepentant and unwilling to change, what you need to do. What you need to do. Now, I can go into, matter of fact, this may be a great series to do in the morning because many people find themselves in that space. You love that person. You don't want the relationship to be over. You just want them to do right. Well, there's ways that you can motivate that person to do right by how you personally show up. Does that make sense? All right, here we go. Here's another one. Happy Martinez. This month, 2 years ago, I confessed my infidelity and found out that my husband had also cheated. We have been doing great over the last few months, but recently it went bad again. I thought we were truly moving past it, but definitely not. We have God in our relationship, but truly I know we need counseling. We need you, Couples Academy. Well, come on in. Come on in. Is your spouse willing? Is he a willing participant in the counseling process? Well, come on in. That's what we're here for. Listen, you're right. You have God, but let me tell you what that means. The fullness of God, and we've said this time and time again, is the presence of God and the principles he put in place, the Spirit of God and the system that he established in the earth for us to take advantage of. Well, we know that in the Old Testament, it talks about how safety is found in the counsel of many. Are you getting counsel? Right? If you're not, then you're not fully investing in the fullness of God. And so if he is a believer and wants God to be the foundation of the marriage, then this is a natural extension of that. You see? So counseling can work wonders for you to get you to a better place. So I hope that helps you and answers your question. All right. Greg says, thank you so much. I can't wait to read these books. I appreciate this so much. I'm telling you, let me tell you something. When you become a student of the thing that you're struggling with, okay, that's how you overcome it. When people say, I don't know what to do, how? Read a book on it. Okay. Now, a way that you can collapse time is work with someone who's read all the books. See, I'm giving you books to read, right? So if a book is 300 pages and another book is 400 pages, that's 700 pages worth of reading. But then is how do you interpret it and how do you apply it and what do you do with it? And so one of my mentors from a distance said something powerful. He said, listen, he asked a rhetorical question. He said, would you rather read 700 books to learn something or get advice from someone who's read 700 books? What would you rather do? Now I'm asking the question. I'm asking you all, what would you rather do? Read 700 books? Because some people pride themselves, oh, I have all this knowledge. Okay. Go ahead, read your 700. Or talk to someone who has read 700. You're collapsing time. You're saving money, energy, effort. You're getting to the result quicker. That's what we call the quantum leap, where you're able to collapse time, get the results you're looking for. And that's why we're encouraging you to do this, folks, because it works. That's what Ask the Experts is for. That's what reading the book is for. Like, I never promote our book, but The Audacity of Marriage, 10 Principles to Lifelong Partnership, that is the book that all of you should have. Do you all have the book? Because if you have the book, it's going to give you step-by-step instructions and guides on what to do to turn your situation around. Listen, guys, I've been all by myself tonight. I hope I'm giving you something that's helpful. I hope it's enriching your life. I hope you could take something and apply it in a powerful way that actually works. I think I hit all the questions today. That's all we have with 1 minute to go. But in the meantime, listen, we love you guys. We love you guys. We appreciate you for tuning in. Continue to tune in every single night at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You're either going to hear from me, Lakeisha Hines, Jeff Witt, or Walter and Charmaine Jennings. All of them are experts on this topic. Continue to tune in and get what you want. And let me just clarify. When you call and set up a discovery call, it is not to get on that call what you get from this show. Some of you are looking for advice. Some of you are looking for just, a quick answer to something. That's what this is for. The discovery call happens to be for individuals who are ready to do something. And now they're trying to figure out, okay, what would be the best approach and what service do you think would fit? That's what that call is for. When you need a deeper understanding on how to move forward in a process. So hopefully that makes sense. Appreciate you guys. I will rest up. Thank you for that. And I'll see you in the morning for another episode of the Couples Academy Show. Are you tuning in? Are you watching? We hope so. We'll see you then.